Hi, this is Jonathan. How are you guys doing? Today's video is not going to be a long one. It's going to be pretty short. It's about a tale of how the influencer got influenced. If you're new to this channel, you might just want to subscribe to this channel and press that bell for notification of future videos that follow, and be part of Patrons to support this channel. And if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, just press that thanks button next to the download button. I would appreciate it. Anyway, today is a storytelling day. It's about this Fender COMA. All right. If you all recall, I actually reviewed this like 1.5 years back. And I want to thank Sweetie for that experience, for allowing me to, take this home and review it. That guitar that I reviewed is not the same guitar. That is like, the serial number is like 00300. This is like 00397. So it's 97 after that guitar, that particular guitar that I reviewed. When I reviewed that guitar, I enjoyed myself immensely. Not because I was a diehard fan of Michael Landau's incredible musicianship. I just liked the way it feel, or the way it felt. The 7.25 fret radius, the thin and tall frets, the way the shape is and everything. I just fell in love with the guitar, wholesale. Plus the pickups, the wonderful pickups that they have. And I did that review, and I got quite a number of views on it, and there were a lot of comments coming in, and a lot of comments did influence me in the way I perceive this guitar. And a lot of comments stated that the guitar just suits me, and that my playing has gone on to a different level with that guitar. Well, mind you, I was just playing a rock song to a backing track, and I tended to think that I give 100% in every video that I did. But I noticed there was a difference in that video because of the way I played and the way the guitar sound. It just sounds great, And this guitar has been hanging around in my head, like living rent-free in my head, swimming around all this time. I went for a extensive tour last year in China, but this guitar is like, hanging around somewhere. And fortunately, about 3 weeks back, and Sweetie had a sort of a sale period, and this guitar price was was dropped to a really nice price, which it's an offer that I cannot refuse. So I wanted to buy this guitar, but I wanted to get that same model that I reviewed, but apparently it wasn't possible because the guitars were all in a warehouse, and it was a chore to actually get that particular model. Maybe that particular model that I reviewed on was already sold. In any case, they shipped me this, and this was in the case, which incidentally right behind me is a beautiful case, and they shipped this to me. I opened it up. I took a video, which you probably see in the start of this video, and I didn't even notice that there was a gap, a gap in between the neck and the body, which is pretty common for most Fender guitars. But I didn't notice that at all. I was like so excited about getting this guitar. I just broke the guitar out, did some adjustment and setup, and I started playing. And I actually did a cover of a Chicago song, which some of you guys will probably see in the shorts. I enjoyed myself. I'm going like, wow, this is like the same feel that I have on the guitar that I reviewed, and I enjoyed myself immensely. And then I wanted to do another cover of Chicago's "You're the Inspiration." And when I took out this guitar to start, getting through the parts, I found out the guitar was like drastically out of tune, and everything was like all wonky. I couldn't figure it out because I set it up perfectly the last time, and the tuning was like all out, and I'm going like, oh man, what happened? And then I checked the neck, and it was out of alignment. It was concave, and I had to like set the neck back. And the problem with this guitar is that you have to take out this neck to adjust your truss rod. After all, it's based on a 59 Fender, so I gotta take out I have to take out the neck and adjust the truss rod twice. And I finally got it into the ballpark that I wanted. And then I finally saw some of the comments that was posted on that little short clip that you see before, the unboxing, and someone was saying, like, there is this big gap between the neck and the body. Didn't you notice? And go like, oh, wow, yeah, I noticed it. And then I look back at this supposed crack. After adjusting the truss rod, I found out that the gap wasn't that obvious after all. So I can't understand that the wood did expand. Probably because I left it hanging in this room for about 2 days after I did the first Chicago cover, and it was left hanging there I was thinking, it's best to let it acclimatize to this environment, which I guessed correctly because it did acclimatize, and apparently the wood expanded and the crack wasn't that obvious. So I did a couple more tweaks to it to make sure that the neck is centered and not out of whack. Everything was done correctly, and so that's a good lesson that I learned about wood, especially about guitars that have been kept in a warehouse for a long time, and then when they ship it to you, even regardless of the fact that the warehouse is in Singapore and I stay in Singapore, even we are in the same climate, it does make a difference because apparently the warehouse is air conditioned or dry, I don't know, and it's kept in the case, and the case has that dehumidifying packet, a couple of packets there, so it's pretty dry. And as y'all might not know or might know, Singapore is a very humid country. So in any case, that was my experience. So I did a lot of tender loving care to this guitar because I oiled the fretboard because it's kind of dry, and it's done, right? And all the intonation are done. Pickup heights I have to adjust a little bit. I did some adjustment to my springs so that it's more or less a bit more flatter, because after all this has a Floyd rose cutout and you can kind of like tweak, it can bind up easily without any problem. I think the other tweak that I did was I installed a strap lock, a Dunlop strap lock for this guitar because I plan on using this live one day. The other mod that I'm going to be doing is a Tuss string tree, which I'm waiting for it to be delivered to my place, and that's probably the only mod I'm going to do. I was contemplating on getting a staggered locking vintage kind of tuners from Goto, but I thought better of it. I think just getting the string tree will suffice. Right, so after playing this guitar extensively for this couple of days, which I really love, I just love the resonance of this guitar acoustically, because of you heard that, right? It's crazy. And it's probably because of the holes and the cavities that has been done to this guitar. At the back, there is a battery compartment, which was, if you don't know the history of COMA, it was heavily modded, right? The original COMA, which unfortunately was destroyed in the recent LA fire which engulfed Michael Landau's home, had a lot of modification done on the guitar. And I actually texted Rich Rankin because he was around at the time when Michael Landau was asking James Tyler to kind of mod his guitar and all the old history. I'm going to put the links down so you can kind of know what history is all about. This guitar was originally red in color, and James Tyler, stripped down the paint, and they saw the wood color, and Michael Landau decided to keep that color, which is in this shade, which is called a Dakota red, and kept it. But through the years, he has done so many mods to this guitar, like adding a Floyd rose. So at one time, he had Seymour Duncan stacks installed and a couple other stuff. So what you have here is basically a guitar that has a couple of cavities around here, especially the Floyd rose dugout. It's pretty extensive at the back. And I believe that there is a swimming pool over here because I haven't taken out the pickguard yet, but I know that Fender does sell a same pickguard with two humbuckers, the Conifi humbuckers, so you can actually swap out, the pickups if you want to. Interesting, right? So albeit after these couple of days of playing on this guitar and enjoying myself immensely, I'm glad I bought this guitar. I'm glad that I actually own this guitar. Probably through the years, there's going to be a couple of mods done to it. I'm planning not to waste that that 9-volt cavity. I'm planning to maybe place a Demeter's tone expander there, so that I can have like more tones, and probably a neck to bridge switch. Whatever I might think of. And I'm going to visit my godson Wayne pretty soon. So one more thing to note is that although this guitar is from Fender, but the history of Michael Landau and James Tyler is pretty tight. So this Fender COMA has a lot of affiliation with what James Tyler has come out, this couple of years, this couple of decades. All the guitars, there is a sort of affiliation, somewhere around. And I'm pretty stoked to find out that, that what I'm seeing here, I'm actually seeing in the new James Tyler, because the new James Tyler is a different animal altogether. It has all these fancy pickup switches and everything, which all make sense in the studio. Now, mind you, this was used extensively. This guitar, the COMA guitar, the original COMA guitar, was used extensively in a lot of sessions that Michael Landau did. So you have that, the blueprint of the ideal studio guitar, which you see manifested these days in the James Tyler lineup, which I love. I'm a fan. I'm telling you right now, I'm a fan of James Tyler guitars. So it's pretty interesting for me to see how it all began in a way, how this industry is more or less influenced by other people and other people's direction or way of doing things. And henceforth, this video is like how the influencer got influenced by his subscribers. And I want to thank you guys for it, because if you guys didn't prod me on, I probably would not get this guitar, because I have enough guitars for myself. And I did mention that I'll probably end up in a hospital if I got that guitar back then, which I probably will. I'm glad that there was a price drop, and so I was able to get this guitar. Yeah, that's all I have. And for the information of the song, which is called Julia, it was done completely by this guitar. Even the loop part, which I did loop on my looper, all the effects are from the time-based effects are all from the Line 6 Helix native. I only used a looper and the Vermeulen butter machine for the lead lines, which I kind of like control with my volume knob. So it's pretty interesting to have the Fender COMA guitar working hand in hand with the Vermeulen butter machine by Michael Landau. So, yep. So anyway, if you're interested in this guitar, there are a couple of these guitars available in the shops. I don't think these are limited editions. These are like the artist series. So there are also a lot of fake copies of the original COMA guitars that is going on like really cheap, like $247 per piece. Now these are all definitely from China, and they're pretty good fakes actually, according to the pictures that I've seen, but up close I have no idea. Now the custom shop version of the COMA guitar will set you back at least, what, 15 grand? In US dollars, it's about 22,000 Singapore dollars, which is like crazy. So if you're interested in this guitar, you might just want to take a look at what the other places like Sweetwater has to offer. Right. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Press the bell for notification of future videos that follow. Be part of Patrons to support this channel. I would appreciate it. And I thank all my patrons for the wonderful support and love. Thank you so much, guys. So in the meantime, you guys, please take care of yourself, and I'll see you real soon. Ciao.